Hi guys, Tracy here. Today's conversation is the difference between empathy and compassion. Empathy has understanding, but it also has experiencing the same feelings as another, where compassion has an understanding without the experience of those particular feelings. There's a saying about pit dwellers, and you walk along a path, and there is somebody that has fallen in a pit. And compassion doesn't jump into the pit. It stays outside and it offers its hand. Where empathy feels what it believes to be the exact same thing as the person in the pit, and it actually is now in the pit, stuck with them. And now the two actually need help to get out of the pit. So with compassion comes an understanding without the negative feelings. Empathy feels bad, where compassion feels good. It feels helpful. Empathy drains your energy. It depletes and drains your energy. And compassion gives. It's able to be present in a fearless kind of way. Empathy projects what we think other people are feeling. But closer to the truth is there really are feelings of what we would think we would be experiencing if we were them. And so whatever they are actually feeling, we are experiencing our own feelings, and we believe they're coming from the other person, or we're sharing that. And it seems like an intimate thing. It's like we're together, if you're a bird, I'm a bird. Compassion, it comes about when we remove false beliefs about our own suffering. Until then, the best one can experience is empathy. I mean, if I feel bad that you're feeling bad, my feeling bad doesn't help you to feel good. It's just two people feeling bad. So to move from empathy, which is still a caring and an understanding, it's just that the one that has it is experiencing negativity. There's this analogy that I like to use called preparing to paint. And let's say, you're getting ready to paint, whether it's a room or a house, and you're taping up all the windows, and you have all the drop cloths. And it's really time consuming. It takes a lot of time to prepare to paint. So you spend hours and hours preparing, and you still don't see the effects of your paint. You picked out the paint, but you're not seeing any substantial change. It's prep work. And it's like, in order to move into compassion, you have to do the prep work. First, you have to hear a thing. You have to hear that there's a better place than just empathy, just feeling someone else's feelings and then wanting to help them, but now you're stuck in the pit. So the prep work involves gathering information, hearing other things like compassion, and it could be reading, going to workshops, self-help, and all of that. And you are gathering like this is you're preparing to paint. And you haven't actually put it into practice. You haven't put one stroke onto the wall or the house. And so you haven't seen a substantial change. This is called the preparing to paint. It takes time for each person. It could take years. For me, it actually took several years. I was preparing to paint. In my readings and in my question asking and listening to other people before I actually put into practice the things that I was hearing. And you can't really have a psychic change to be a different person until you actually put it into action. And putting it into action, I mean challenging your beliefs, because the mind is what causes suffering. And since we do believe that it's true, we believe what the mind says is true. I mean, if it tells you, go get a bag of potato chips, you go get a bag of potato chips. And we are like puppets to the mind. It's the master, and we are servants to it. Eventually, you get to a place where you're not the servant of the mind. You are the master, and it serves you. And that's a great place to be. So everything that the mind says, when you challenge it, isn't automatically true. Matter of fact, you'll find that most things that you thought were true are not true. And that is the beginning of freedom. And I can't really see how people can get free if they're just believing everything that the mind says. And the thing about thoughts, it's, I'll say, oh yeah, they're my thoughts. But by the time I've already had a thought or say that it's mine, it's already there. So if I said, oh, I'm thinking about pizza, it's not that I thought of pizza, it's that I got an image and then I just said that that was mine. But so because the brain is like a receiver, so it receives thoughts and images according to whatever vibration that we are at. So when it comes to the difference between empathy and compassion, which is better? Compassion is so much better because it's fearless and there's no suffering, and we can be present and we can listen to other people, and we know what they're experiencing, or the probability of what they're experiencing based on our own suffering gives us this understanding without having to suffer with them. We already have an understanding. And I am definitely for compassion over empathy, especially for somebody that feels everything. Not only are you feeling your own stuff, but now you got to feel other people's stuff. So it's like double jeopardy or triple jeopardy. And so compassion is much better to live life, to have an understanding. Because when you're understanding something, you're not judging. You're not judging. That's the whole purpose of removing a judgment. The moment you have an understanding, the judgment goes away. So to stop judging is to understand, and to understand is to have compassion, and to show up and be fearless is to be present. And that's why I prefer compassion over empathy. I mean, we've already had tons and tons of negative emotions. You don't have to experience them because someone else is experiencing them. And besides, it doesn't help. If my feeling bad could get other people feeling good, I mean, hey, I might think about doing it, but it's not true. It just makes everybody feel bad. So, okay, that's about it for compassion and empathy, and peace.